Hello and welcome to another session of Sunken Heart. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of Open Hearth Gaming, which is an online gaming community. You can find out more about that at openhearthgaming.com. Hey, we just restarted our podcast and put the first episode of that out. And it's three people talking about the games they recently played and then talking about one game in particular. And that's pretty much it. So under an hour, solid. Get to hear about some games you might not have heard of, and some people talk about those. Uh, and we're hoping to do that once or twice a month going forward with different members from the community. So please check that out. I will put a link to that, our transistor site for the podcasts in the show notes, along with a link to the site that has all of the podcast versions of our various community videos, which is a pretty solid thing. So there you go. So let's check in with characters. Did anyone get an advancement last time?
Not die.
No. Okay. Uh, so we sort of left off last time. You all had some conversations. You talked with various people. There are some things that are on the table as questions. Who killed the goblin? What's up with that graveyard? Your rivals, your local dragon, uh, the uh, island, these, and of course, most importantly, the Super Bowl party, are all things that are on the table right now. And I think you had a conversation about kind of some of the directions you wanted to go and things you wanted to do. So I will start with a once around to let people call scenes with PCs or NPCs or carry out moves as they wish. So, Vancia, we are getting
Oh,
into
dang it. You're just so mean to me.
we are getting to the end of January. We're about now, so it's about the 19th, probably. So we're at 12 days out from the 31st. Uh, what are you up to, Vancia?
Let's see here. I think that I almost got sucked into the conversation about the party. Since I'm a fine party planner, I thought, no, I have to take care of my detective duties first.
Right, right.
Yeah, so I think that I say
And
yeah.
I have a question. Were you I can't remember this exactly, but were you informed about Semolina Pilchard's activities last time? Is that something that Marrow and Suit shared with you? I can't remember. I think so, but I want to be certain about that.
I don't know. Did you guys
I
say that to
mentioned
me?
it to her when we were like actually at the scene, but I don't think I know of the new developments with the poison.
Okay. So you've not yet been told that in fact Semolina Pilchard had some nefarious involvement.
Oh, that she had actually, in fact, poisoned the goblin as opposed to assisting him.
Possibly.
And it is the name of the dead goblin is Denbacher.
Denbacher, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I got the right Den, because after a while they were all flinging around the Den title. So
Yes. It's very clear that anyone can can use part of that name, but not the full name,
okay,
unless they're the top of the line.
thus they are Denbacher.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, they are the clan is known as the Bakers.
Oh, okay.
He
He's
was
Boots.
Boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boots Denbacher,
Boots Denbacher. Oh, okay.
or actually, it's done the other way around. So it's actually Denbacher Boots.
Denbacher Boots. Okay. Very sophisticated.
Absolutely, put the family name first. Most important.
Exactly. Um, yeah. So I do think I will say, Marrow, I I don't know what your plans are, but I wouldn't mind going over to that cemetery where I think that dream bullet started from. We might
I think that would be a very good idea.
okay. Um, excuse we'll have to take the bus. Is that okay?
We could take my motorcycle.
Ooh, that would be very stylish. All right, let me go get a scarf. And she'll run back so that she can get a
You will
stylish
need
scarf.
it. It is chilly out.
It is chilly out, and it's also the most stylish thing to have when you're riding a motorcycle, as long as you don't get it caught in the wheel. So yeah.
And I'll put I have like a little blanket to put over your legs and all when you get in the sidecar. And we put along like.
All right. Excellent. She talks to you the whole time. You probably can't hear her, but she's having a lovely time. You can tell. Waves to people.
I probably not in agreement without hearing, guys. That's it.
It's a good chance she's saying something perfectly, sensible, right?
Mhm.
Sensible. That's Lily. Yeah. And you can tell that she's actually said something to you and she realizes when you can't hear it, and she sort of stops and she goes, like, she'll wait until we get there, and then she's quiet after that. So, and then when you finally get to the cemetery, I think she waits until you've turned off the motorcycle, and she said, I didn't realize that the green bullet hurt. I thought it was like a bullet that you have like when you're sleeping and you go, oh, in my sleep I know I've been shot, but you don't actually feel it. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but I definitely felt it when it shot me. Remember, I got shot.
I know. I didn't know that at the time. And then you were very sad. And I was like, I'm going to let him have his sad because we didn't react appropriately. But I wanted to tell you that I thought that that's what it was.
Dude seems pretty positive it wasn't Wisdom. Wisdom, who was really high on my list of the person who might have had him killed.
I think that there are probably a lot of people that didn't like Denbacher Boots. I mean, he has a position of power.
And I mean, I think she had arranged for him to be poisoned, but he didn't manage to get poisoned.
Like he didn't live long enough, or the poison didn't work.
He didn't live long enough, I don't think.
So when I was sort of looking back through time, no, through memory, Commodore Pecky was there when he got shot. He wasn't the one who shot him. The bullet came from outside, and it came from the direction of the cemetery, which is why I wanted to come here.
What was Pecky doing?
Pecky does work for whomever's the head of the goblin market.
Okay.
Or he has. I don't know if he will in the future. He does not particularly trust the courts, so far as I can tell.
Okay, so he was working for Boots. Was there when he got shot.
And took off because he figured he'd get blamed.
Not a bad idea, probably the right idea. Okay. Well, then we should look around this graveyard
I
and
know.
see if we can see some clue.
I
It's
figured
been a
we'd be.
little while.
It has. But it's the sort of thing that I think someone would do and think they weren't going to get caught. So they might have left something behind that will tell us.
Okay.
Like dream shells.
That's a possibility.
All right. Let's keep our eyes open.
Well,
And
in honor of this, Lily,
yes,
Smythe suit, it
yes.
sounds to me like you want to make some kind of study roll.
Yes, I would love to make a study roll.
What do you want to roll that with?
Oh, let's see here. I have just wanted to make sure I didn't have anything that I could call upon that would be better than just making a straight move. So
Do you
I
want
think,
to flashback for your dark mentor?
ooh, sure, we might as well do that. I forgot to do that last time.
Yeah.
So yes.
So as you're riding along in the sidecar, you flash
That's
back.
what I was telling him about.
Okay.
Not going to see my mentor after talking to
We saw the
Commodore.
visuals, but all we heard was the traffic sounds over it. Sounds good. What do you want to roll that with?
Um, hmm, that's a good question. Uh, how about how about power? Because when I'm talking to my mentor, in a lot of ways, that's our negotiation, is that, I'm trying to come into myself, figure out who and what I am.
Sure.
So I
Let's
think
have you
that
roll
makes
that.
sense. Okay, all I got to do is find this. Aha, I found it. Okay, so I'm going to roll and I'm going to add 1.
Okay.
And it's a 7, so that's an 8.
That is an 8. So you get to pick one,
One
I believe,
thing.
from your.
One thing. Okay. Let's see here.
Or you can choose 2 if you want to have a bad reputation.
Oh no. No. I teach children. I can't get a bad reputation, even if I'm only there for a day or maybe an afternoon. But let's see here. I It's interesting. Oh, it just reformatted itself right in front of me.
I know. I realized it was an Ariel and it was beginning to bug me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think
I'm
that
not like Patrick, but yes, I am like Patrick.
I think that when I went to talk to her about the thing, when I said something about the dream bullet, she sort of furrowed her brow and she's like, I've and she sort of goes, I've oddly heard something about that before. Let me give you something. And I think she gives me a relic of power.
Okay.
And I think it doesn't make any sense. I think it's like what a little sieve.
Okay.
Um, and she says this can separate the chaff from what's important.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
So let's bring us to the uh the roll.
Okay. So essentially, I'm gonna roll.
Are you rolling with power again for your study?
That's a good question. Sure, I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I keep losing this tab. Okay. So that's adding +1. Here we go. If I roll enough, it'll be truly abysmal. Here it goes. Any minute now. Right? Okay, I hit the roll again and it didn't. So I'm gonna do it again. 6, that makes it a 7.
That makes it a 7. So that will give you
Squeaker.
a squeaker. That will give you a 1 hold.
I will take the whole. Oh, and then it just went again. That
It's
one
because you
was
hit
a
it that
7.
second time.
I know it took a long time to roll, didn't it?
It was a
Okay.
monkey like last that.
Okay.
At least it didn't do the thing where it shows you your dice and then it goes, and then it changes them. Like
Oh yeah. What was the one that
that was
doing
that
one
one
time?
that stupid Shane wrote.
Yes. The liar move. Okay, so basic moves, study 1, ask a question of the situation, ask a question about a more, reveal a detail. I think when she makes that study roll, she realizes that we walked into a cemetery and there is sort of a, how do you say? I'm not going to say it is divided, and there are like ghost territory in here, two of them.
Okay.
Okay. And there's some very strong sense of them not having a very friendly border, if that makes any sense. But she can only kind of see the hostility or the memory of the hostility, if that makes any sense. But she does kind of step back and go, oh,
What's wrong?
there are some of those ghosts that have a very strong tie to this place, perhaps. At least, but like they're clashing. Can you see it? Sometimes you can see these things better than me, I think.
Hmm. Well, I've heard that one of these ghosts is actually very helpful, and one of these ghosts is very mean. And if we're able to find the very helpful one, then we might be able to get some assistance from them. But we should avoid very mean one. I am doing lies, 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 Lord.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm rolling that with. Well, we're in a
I
graveyard.
knew I brought the right person, I say.
We'll definitely go with sorrow for this. It's a
Okay.
graveyard. That's appropriate. So I'll roll my 2 dice. It's shaking. It's shaking. There they go. I got a 9.
Okay.
Could have been better.
So what do you want to spend that to have happen?
Let's see. There's some good things that come out of that.
I don't think you have to spend anything to make me truly believe in your lie, because I just would.
um, let's learn a truth.
Think
Let's see if that
think
turns
think
something up.
that well, what you've said, you put out into the world hasn't stuck. I think you can tell that the division here in this place seems to be there is a corner of the graveyard that is a much older kind of graveyard, um, significantly older, like historical marker kind of older. And then like at some point, clearly other land was bought up, and that's the newer graveyard. And that seems to be the real tension here is between that older and newer ones in that way, uh, with your sense that the older ones are content to be where they are. The new ones are much more restless. Like you can feel that there's something happening and going on here.
Okay.
Does that seem like a fair answer?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So what do you two want to do?
And I will inform you of this distinction that's going on. I think it's really more like this, actually.
Do you think they would have seen the person who shot the dream bullet?
It's possible. I could try to talk with the ghosts.
Okay. If I can help, I will.
Well, that will be doing the invoke a contract, wouldn't it, Lowell?
Yes, it would be.
Oh.
That takes marking a sickie, doesn't it, Lowell?
It does not.
Oh, it does not.
It does not unless you roll badly.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not calling on a greater
you're not
power
calling on
then.
greater
Oh, okay,
powers.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm just doing
It'd be
magical
like if
effects.
I wanted to summon the ghosts and control them.
Then okay, good. Okay, I was a little afraid there. Right.
Are you starting to get a little
Um,
nervous about your sinking?
a little concerned.
I
Interesting.
am. I am concerned about his sinking.
Just a little worried. Okay. Um, let's do this with. It's probably going to be power. That's not marked, is it? No. I'm going to do this with power.
Ooh.
This is me calling upon my magicy bits, and I tend to consider that power. Ooh, roll. Come on, you can do it. It is taking its time.
There must be some other gamers who are just hitting the button so much that we're in line to get
Yes,
out of line.
so.
There it goes.
Ugh,
Ooh.
that's a 6.
That is a 6. Do you want to
Ah,
burn a bond?
I don't even know if I have any. I don't think I do.
let me see if
Yeah,
I
you
have
do.
one.
Oh, I do have a couple, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, yeah, I'll burn one with Aldo there. Aldo and I have probably done these sorts of graveyard things before, so I can draw on that, I think.
I think I think that the catch is uh that you're in uh like a Greek cemetery. And like you can see the names are old Greek locals because there were a lot of actually Greek that settled down here in the South in different pockets, um, fisher folk and such. And I think if you go to the older part of the cemetery, you need to lay a vein open for a ghost.
Dang. I will reach into my pocket and pull out my pocket knife and will let's see. I've learned if I have to do that, I want to go places that it doesn't hurt so bad.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to catch it up there, that vein that's at the top of your bend of your elbow. That's where they always get a good one when they
Yep.
draw blood from me. So I think I'll put a nick in that, and as it begins to drip down, I'll hold my hand down so it drips down my arm to my hand.
All right.
What are you doing, Morrow?
Priming the pump or getting their attention.
Oh, okay, not too much attention, okay?
Don't
Please
It's
worry
just
me.
mark drained.
Oh,
And I think you will feel after a bit there, you can feel the pushing around you. And then someone pushes forward, clearly like taking charge. And you will see that blood kind of vanish, stop running down your arm, and then you'll feel the like a cold cat tongue lick that wound.
it,
uh, and you will see this spectral figure of an older, bushy bearded gentleman who looks at you and speaks in Greek, but you can understand it, and says, "You are offering us blood, but you are the danger ones. You are the eaters of old."
Years of old? What do you mean?
You come from the takers. You are of their ilk. You are you are the ones who harm others just by being there.
We, we have escaped from the takers, and it was not of our not of our own will that we became like this. We are sorry if we caused you pain.
You do. You do. But you have offered up a taste of your blood, so I am here. What is it you and the fiery one want? Skeleton.
Um, and Lily can see as well. Lily can see as well.
Sure, sure, let's say that.
Can I hear as
Yeah.
well? Okay.
Uh, my friend has a question for you, if you would be so kind.
And she sort of stops and she says, I yesterday, when at about this time,
A few days ago at this
a
point.
few days ago,
Yeah.
said someone was here and they had magic with them. They fired that magic towards there, and she points. And the thing is she's speaking in Greek. If that makes any sense, because as I said, she has a lot of things because she can hear it. She just does. She goes in that direction. Did you see something of them? Could you tell us something?
Some of the what is the word for them? No, that is not. It's like you can hear that he's clearly talking with some of the other goats. Uh, some of the possessors were here with their witch friends, and they use this place for meetings with others. And they did something a few days ago, one of them.
And she says, I don't know what you mean by possessors.
There is a new regime for ghosts in this city. They are not content to inhabit just the graveyards. And
Oh,
their allies are helping them find other inhabitation.
so is there witches that are helping them?
Yes,
Oh, that's not cool. But
there are many, many kinds of witches. Do not forget that the witches are not of one in this city. They are like us, like you, in tribes.
that makes sense.
Maybe you should talk to that witch that's over in the graveyard. And he'll point kind of over your shoulder. And I think you two will turn around and you'll see, like, way far away, standing by a gravestone, you'll see this young woman smoking and watching you.
Watching us. Oh, great.
And I'm going to cut for you two.
Okay, great.
Aldo, what are you up to?
So many options. um, I have this. No, I think that's a thing to do with the whole group together. Or wait, no, Mr. Sue's around. Okay. I want to learn more about this island.
Okay.
But I think I think I will try to drag Mr. Suit into this. And it's the goblin who knows what is his name? Brackish Puck,
Yes.
who knows about this, right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Sorry. We had a whole lot of clues in the last two sessions. And I'm
absolutely.
trying to like put the person with the information together.
Fair enough, fair enough. Call me up
okay,
from
okay.
the place under the stairs.
Yeah. I will make sandwiches. They are not Lydia's idea of sandwiches. They are Aldo's idea of sandwiches, which means that they are basically cheese on bread.
Oh.
But you know, they're food. They're edible. The cheese, the moldy parts of the cheese have been cut off.
Well, that's a fair treat.
Just a small hosting tip. You've got to stop telling people that.
Well, you know, I otherwise it looks like I just bit pieces off of the cheese.
No,
would you rather
no
hear?
one will
I'm
be
not
upset
sure.
like that. In some places, that's considered an indirect kiss. It's all fine.
I want to say he's wrong, but he's sort of right and maybe just interpreting it the wrong way.
You know what's great?
I'm not about to hear it. I know that.
What's great is, so what I love are grocery stores that have like their own delis, and because what they
Oh yeah,
do,
that's great.
they make up the stuff, the big chunks of stuff during the day.
Uh-huh.
Well, a lot of that stuff doesn't sell. Primarily that sort of pink meat spread that you put on sandwiches, like it's just like it's like got pimentos and it's like
Oh
chopped up
yeah.
bologna. Yeah, like it comes to stuff that never sells, and so at night they throw those things away. And if you're lucky and they don't bleach it, you can get in there and get it while it's just getting warmed from the heat of the dumpster. You know, kind of starts to bring it up to like a little bit above room temperature.
Aldo, didn't you have questions for Puck?
I did. This island you were telling us about that you do before we made a hasty getaway from the mall.
Uh-huh.
Can you take us to it?
It's a long walk.
Mr. Suit has a car.
It's been there. It's not that long.
Well, if we drive down towards the bay, towards the Gulf, and off from, do you know where the bridge is out to the Shoal Islands, where they have like
Oh,
little
yeah,
resort? Yeah, yeah. It's not there, but it's near there. So if you go there, then we can find our way.
That sounds good. Were you you weren't doing anything, were you, Mr. Suit?
I have some time free in my schedule.
In between planning
Awesome,
for
thanks.
your bowl party.
Who told you about that?
You did. I was here while you were talking with everyone.
Oh, I forgot you were there.
I know this is.
You all right? You getting a little paranoid there. And I
Just
can understand
very
why, given
concerned
everything,
about the
but
guest list.
Oh no, I would never presume to be assumed that I would be invited to something like that. That most assuredly not.
You're still going to be there, though, aren't you?
I have no idea what the winds of fate will take us to at that point. If there's a dumpster out beside of it, maybe I'll be there.
Come, we'll go.
Okay.
You in the trunk.
As you wish.
different goblin.
Yeah, I just if the trunk's fine. That'll be fine. Yes, just let
You were
if you.
happy to be in the trunk last time.
I was, but I was also worried that other people would see me and murder me. So
Oh, well, I'm also concerned that other people might see you.
and murder me?
Well, it's always a possibility.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, pop open this trunk. I might get a little pillow to put back here for when next time I have to come
This
back.
is not a regular thing.
Just saying. I'll get that. And the two of you can drive down to the shore. Um, and you make your way down there and kind of park. Uh, Again, as you know, there's that great big bridge that crosses for Mobile from one part to another, but then there's also a causeway bridge that goes out to a set of like islands, where there are beach houses and things like that. It's like people rent those things and, you know, uh, have them. But he will, once you parked and let him out of the trunk, um, he will walk you westwards along the shoreline. And he will say, so you could probably get to it like via boat or kayak. I always wanted to go kayaking. But anyway, out to it, but and then he'll see him stop, and he will point, and it's weirdly like there's kind of some industrial here, and then there's a gap, and there's some beach, and there's like a little parking lot, and you'll see that there is a chain link fence with a gate on it, and there is literally a bridge that goes out, and you can see in the distance. I mean, it's a car bridge, like cars could drive across it. Uh, that there is an island and there are some structures on it. And the thing that strikes you is like there's no signage here. There's no footprints around here. Uh, it, but it feels very weird.
What about that? Would that bridge get us out to the depth we need to be?
Well, that's the island.
It's on the other side?
What do you mean the other side? I mean, this side of the bridge? Yeah, if you have to go down the bridge to get to it.
The the tide.
Oh no, it's a real island. Like that's the island.
That's not the island.
Okay, it isn't the island.
Aldo.
Yeah.
I've been to the island. It was in the undertow.
You've been to the island where uh the people who disappeared went to?
Where the village was. I talked to people there.
Oh,
Well,
I'm sorry. I thought you wanted me to take you to the island that gang of Taken had as their other base. You wanted to go to Tinfoil Venice. I apologize.
Oh,
I apologize.
no, that's
Let's get
okay.
back
We
in the
can go to the
car
one.
and we'll go into the undertow and I can take you to Tinfoil Venice.
I'm sorry. Wait, what was the where was what island were you taking us to?
I told you, the island where those other changelings had their other base.
We've been talking about them for weeks. You didn't say anything.
To be fair, I've only known you for about 5 days, so if you've been talking about them for weeks, I was not part of the initial conversation on that score. When you talked to me when we were in the admittedly chaotic moment of being in the of Boots's office, I said I knew where the island was, where those changelings had gotten to, and I offered that information up.
Oh, I think I assumed you were lying.
That's fair. That's fair. That checks out.
So do you want to go to this island or not?
Yes, we should go to this island.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like there is a fence along the shoreline, kind of that clearly gets washed up a little bit at high tide. And there is a gate with a heavy chain on it and a lock. And as I said, it feels very strange here. What do you want to do, Aldo?
Does it feel strange in a like a familiar way? Like this is typically how things with a lot of influence from the undertow feel, or is it a different strange?
I think that calls for a study roll.
That does call for a study roll. You're right. Or let's see. I never use my own moves. Let's see if I have anything. No, this is just a study roll. Okay.
What do you want to roll with?
Uh I think fear's probably the closest.
Okay.
Let's see if it actually rolls. Oh, okay.
We'll take that first one.
Yeah, so that's 7.
So uh I think the first thing that will strike you here in terms of strange is that like there's no sign of people messing with this gate. There's no sign of people parking in this parking lot. It it ought to have graffiti or garbage or people around here like it feels very odd that it has not been spotted or messed with. Um, then and you you're pretty sure you've been by this area and you've never seen this before. So what's your question?
Um, has is this effect something that somebody did to this place intentionally?
Yeah, 100%. This is
Okay.
this place is weird and potent. Mr. Suit, what are you doing?
I'm glaring at Puck. How do you know about this place?
Because this is where I washed up when everything went south at Tinfoil Venice.
And you could just see the island and the bridge and the gate.
Literally answering your question as you have asked it, yes.
Even though I've been by here dozens of times. Just a few days ago.
It helped that I washed up on the island.
What's it like?
Uh, there's a kingdom, like there, very medieval themed. Um, and there is a building for it that I saw, and then there are a couple of buildings back. And it's, I think it's a full 18 holes.
Wait, a golf?
Yes, yes, there's a mini golf course, and
A
there were some,
medieval themed mini golf.
yes. That's as far
Course.
as I could tell. I had to swim to get away.
That's fair. This is my fault. I'm the one who keeps asking you questions. We should go look at that gate.
And you will head over to the gate. Let's take our first break here, and then we'll come back to Lydia and Marrow. So let's take till 9:35, depending on your time zone. So, Lydia, Marrow, you are there in the graveyard. What do you two do?
And she smiles and before she turns, she goes, thank I mean, before she goes, thank you. And they were standing right over there. She sort of like makes sure she knows where that group was on that day. And then she does thank him very formally. So
You're welcome.
and then we get a few steps away and she grabs your arm and she goes, you need to put pressure on that.
Has it stopped bleeding though, where he licked
Oh
it
yeah.
away?
Oh yeah.
It's fine. They keep any excess from being wasted.
Okay. But she sort of kind of drags you away from there a little bit faster. Like, oh, you should have warned me. I would have.
It's
You
okay.
don't treat
It's
yourself with
part of the
enough care.
price. You worry too much.
I worry for you because I don't want to not have you at my side.
That's very sweet. And I'll kind of give that little one-armed hug in close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's like how we are. We've actually been talking as we walk up to this witch.
And you will see this witch is fairly pale, pierced face, silver gray dreadlocks. There's a picture of her there.
Ooh, gotta see it then. Get to the right NPC block. Others here.
Oh,
Oh,
Do all the witches have white hair?
no. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Oh,
thing.
we'll see. It's a very cool picture.
And I think Lily says, "Oh, you have lovely piercings."
And I think you will realize as you've kind of walked over
Mhm.
that there is definitely a pressure and a presence around you. I think Marrow is most familiar with this, having been in the graveyards, but they can't fully, at least to your knowledge, manifest strongly during the day. It's harder for them. It's certainly easier at night.
But we are being crowded in on.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hello.
Hello?
Um, I'm Marrow. This is my friend Lydia.
You're wearing masks.
Would you
Don't we
prefer we
all?
not?
Sorry, you talked over each other there.
I said, don't we all?
Grinds out the cigarette she's just about finished on the tombstone and pulls out another one and lights that up.
We understand you're a witch.
That's a broad category, yes.
It is. I don't know that much about witches. Just do you speak with the ghosts then?
I trade, I talk, I work with the ghosts.
Some are better than others.
That could be said of every kind of person.
Very true. Uh, are you here on business or? And I'll look down to the gravestone remembrance.
Business.
Us too. Oh,
Voila.
um, something happened here a few days back that we were kind of wondering about. Do you come here often? We saw you across the graveyard and we thought, no.
I saw you talking with the old ones.
Seems like there's two groups here.
They're the ones who are settled in their ways and others that have been more agitated.
You know why they're agitated?
So what was the thing that happened that you wanted to know about?
Someone did a bit of dream magic here.
Most specifically, a dream gun shooting a dream bullet. Probably a dream gun.
And why for would that be business of yours?
Well,
You got hit by it.
I ended up being shot by it. Not really holding a terrible grudge on that, though it really did hurt quite a lot. But curiosity then led us to look into it a bit more, and well, some goblins were also a little curious about it.
Mm-hmm.
Happen to know anything about it?
You really better off walking away from this?
That's probably true. So many things that we walk towards. We would be so much better walking the other direction. Um, Perhaps you could just, if you happen to know anything about it, give the smallest bit to put our curiosity at rest. Did it have anything to do with our kind, or is it really more of a something not to do with us at all?
I don't think any of your folk were involved with it.
You're probably right that it doesn't have anything to do with us.
Is there someone here who has a issue with the goblins?
Look, I don't want to get mixed up in whatever investigation thing you're doing. I'm going to write a name down
Mhm.
on this little wrapper from my cigarette pack, and I'm going to hand it to you, and you can take it up with them.
Okay.
And then she will take out a pen and she will pull off that little top thing on there and she'll start to write on it. Of course, those things are so hard to write on.
Yeah.
The paper's not quite right.
Just a minute. I have a space pen.
Isn't that just a pencil?
No. Well, Russian, yes, but actually, it's one of the space pens. It writes on anything pretty much. Let's give it back.
I will. And she will fold it up very small,
Mhm.
hand you your pen back, and gesture for you to hold your hand out, Marrow.
Nope.
I'll hold it out.
Drops this tiny little, absolutely folded up tightly wrapper thing.
I will gingerly take it and slide it almost immediately into a pocket.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I owe you nothing and you owe me nothing. I am called Harlan Bahari of the Dayan.
Thank you. While we part
I owe
without
you
obligation.
nothing and you owe me nothing.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I owe you nothing. You owe me nothing.
A lovely day.
He just nods.
I'll take Lily's arm and
Mhm.
head back towards the
We'll head back.
motorcycle.
Towards the
Actually, can we
waiting
walk?
motorcycle.
Oh,
Yeah, no, well, we can go over to like where they kind of described the group standing, like where there were some people standing, sort of. Just like, because they do that stuff, say, can you?
Yeah, someone could have stood here with a sniper rifle and fired a dream bullet kind of into the thing.
Into the thing at that angle. So I do kind of do that thing. I don't know. I don't have anyone that I can take their memories. There's no one here right now. But I do cite it and go, yes, straight line from here to there. Nothing too much in the way.
Okay.
There's nothing around here. No sign.
No particular, no.
By whose grave are we?
Somebody that died like in 73. These are all fairly modern.
Modern.
when the more active crew.
Carol Morris, 1973. All right, we'll head back to the motorcycle.
Okay.
I'm
Absolutely.
burning with curiosity. I'm burning with it.
I'll. Is she still just standing where she was, or did she wander off?
She's where she was. She's kind of watching you as you head out to your bike.
Mhm.
Okay. Then I'll drive somewhere where we're out of sight.
Okay.
It looks too needy, too desperate.
Oh, I think that's fair.
I don't want to. And I think that's the thing is I'm walking along clearly going.
And you'll unwrap it, and there is a name. I put it in the chat for you.
The
Ooh,
Carolingian.
That is the
Carolingian.
name of the fifth immortal that is on the run.
Oh, I thought his name was Rodrigo. Okay.
That is what he is. That is the name. That is what he is called as the Carolingian.
Okay, so he that's his title or whatever.
Yes.
Now I got to look it up.
That put him all the way back with Charlemagne. Potentially.
Or is an affectation.
Or an affectation.
Equally likely.
Equally likely.
Having
But
played
yes.
Vampire, you know it's equally likely they're just making bullshit up.
But yes, the Carolingians are that was the line of Charlemagne.
Huh. Oh, it was us, and then yes. Oh, okay. But he's not Charlemagne, right?
I sort of doubt it.
Okay. That would be really sad to be Charlemagne and end up in Mobile, Alabama, I think.
I don't know. It's probably better than where Charlemagne ended up. Being dead and all.
Oh, yeah. I understand dead is no fun.
I think he had a rough one, actually. But, she said that it didn't have anything to do with us, and it has to do with them. This might very well be that we take advice well given and don't stick our noses in it.
It might be that Denbacher Boots knew where he was, and so he needed to be quieted.
Mhm.
Interesting.
You got that look? That's not a oh we're going to drop it look. That's not a oh people who find out more get killed look.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was himself who showed up, right? I just can't
What, to
imagine.
shoot him? No, probably he worked through some intermediaries.
Right. Witches and ghosts. And the possessed. Ooh.
Meanwhile, at the shoreline, Aldo, Mr. Suit, do you climb the fence, or do you break the lock, or what do you do? Do you go and rent a kayak?
Climbing the fence and renting a kayak are definitely at the very bottom of. They're on like a tertiary list if everything else burns down.
Okay,
I mean, this is a barrier
kayak.
island. It's just
there are
sand.
little boat rentals for the it's okay.
Yes, there's also medium boat rentals that boat themselves.
Fair enough.
We're on
Swan
a barrier
boat would be
island.
cool.
They're nothing but, low sand dunes. I'm going to try to dig under the fence.
Okay. I think absolutely that you, with that form that you have, can do that. Why don't you make a roll for me, though. First, stay
Sure.
strong.
Okay. Um, I think I think I am uh what was the word that was used, or the term that was used a few sessions ago? Misplaced confidence. I think
Yes.
that is what I have right now. Because like it's just sand. What's the problem? You
Yeah.
know? Uh
Suit keeps having to move as the like gouts of sand keep finding.
yes. So this is power, which is 0 for me.
Okay.
Okay, I won't click it twice this time. It's still thinking and thinking, thinking.
Working.
There we go. Oh, it's a
Uh,
3. I could have picked more legible. Oh, I guess I could look at the thing on the side, couldn't I? 7.
uh, so yeah, you will dig this up and get a spot underneath, but you know that you have tripped something.
Oh, great.
But like the second that you've kind of popped up on the other side, Brackish Puck is whoop, and is next to you, waving at you on the other side, Suit.
It's it takes him several minutes. He is desperately trying to find some way through without getting everything ruined and sandy and possibly torn on the fence, and I don't think any of those are really possible, barring straight up magic. Um,
There are literally people walking by along the sort of the sidewalk along here. None of them look at you.
yeah, that's also a complication. As the first couple of times he sees people, he immediately stands up and like brushes himself off and looks very presentable. Back to
I
crawling,
think
just
I'm
stands up again.
noticing, the people walking by are like, this actually would have been a good place to wash up. You're still hidden.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until much later.
It's yeah.
And just shoot, you'll get through, and
Was that a
uh,
tear? Did that tear? Do you see a tear?
It's just sand. It's just sand. Like I kind of, I
just rub
like
some
brush
dirt
it off
on
with
it.
my hand a little bit.
But no, I'm trying to. No.
I have one of those
You're fine.
sandwiches
Just shake off your clothes when you're
now.
done.
Do you mind if I have a sandwich now? Can I have another one
Oh,
of those?
sure. Yeah.
Thank you. And he
Here, you
begins
just
to,
take the bag.
oh, I'm not sure you really want to have a bag, but I'll take that. Put it over his shoulder
And
like a
it's just the
newspaper
bread
bag.
bag.
Yeah.
No, it's not a backpack. It's the bread bag with like I've just put cheese in between the different slices of
Oh,
bread.
yeah. I like that. Puts it over his shoulder. And you can walk down this bridge. It is a wooden and metal bridge. It is, car worthy. It's clearly been here for a while. Um, it it's it's got that look like when you look at the pylons that go in the water, there's the gunk that is built up, algae and moss and such, and you will walk down. It has that lovely sound when you're walking on something that's suspended over water, and you get that kind of tunk 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 where your footsteps kind of echo down below, and you will walk across it, and it's a good long, like a good 100 yards plus out, uh, and it will kind of terminate in like there is a like ticket booth kind of thing. And then it goes to a very sanded over road, asphalt that goes up to maybe a 20-car parking lot, also covered with sand. and you will see a emerging from the the like debris and sand that has washed up. There is a mini golf course. You will see the castle. You'll see the knight. You'll see what looks like some sort of weird holy grail kind of thing at the end. Someone is clearly like their idea of medieval is both having watched Camelot, the musical, a couple of times, and also probably Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like it's got like a weird mix of those kinds of things there. But I mean, and there is like a little like place where they would serve concessions, and you will see that there's a Tempest and a Smash TV machine that are like have been exposed to the weather, have seen better days by a couple of, picnic tables. Uh, and as you kind of walk past, you will see that the island continues up, and you will see that there are two houses. They look like vacation houses, like two-floor vacation houses with like the front porch, and you're betting that there's a like a porch off the back for the kitchen and things. Got nice some big windows. There are curtains that are shut on them. The thing that will strike you is these two houses are identical. Like they're a mirror image of one another that are kind of standing there. And the curtains are dark, so the the windows are very much like there are gaps, darkness in the face of these houses. But the house on the left, like it looks like it's fine. It's in okay condition, weathered, but fine. Other house, somehow, for some reason, the sand has built up on it, and it covers the front part of that porch and actually kind of makes almost a dune up to that second floor window there. And that second floor window and the windows that you can see on that house that seems to be kind of dune encrusted, like when you see someone and they've got a tooth knocked out, and it's so consciously a gap, so obviously a gap in what ought to be there. And that's what those windows and things look like on that house. And you don't like either of those houses. What do you do, Mr. Suit?
Well, the third option is an abandoned and ridiculous mini golf course. So he'll brush the last bits of, well, not even close to the last bits of, but he'll give up on the suit after this. Um, and turn towards the left house and say, well, shall we go introduce ourselves?
Are you planning on finding someone in there?
Well,
Yeah, sure, let's go.
find generally if you just assume that you've welcome and invited somewhere, most people will assume it along with you.
So, uh, Brackish Puck is kind of seemingly obsessed with the mini golf course, and you'll see him poking around there, like like trying to clean up a hole, looking around to see if there are golf clubs, that
Why
kind of
don't you
thing.
check this area for clues?
Well, I'm not much of a detective. I'm no Lydia Smythe suit, but I am
Well,
gonna.
who is really?
No, not one person. But yeah, I'm gonna work here.
All right, you've been to this area before, so you will, I'm sure, notice anything out of place or whatever. We're going now.
Was less sand last time I was here.
Yep. Look around.
So there's the house on the right, and there is the last house on the left that has the dunes coming up on it.
Non-Dooney house.
Okay.
Lantern?
So you'll walk to the first house on the right and kind of up onto the porch. There's that kind of, I mean, if you've ever been at a beach or a lake or a shoreline house, there is that everything's kind of blown covered with sand here, but there's some kind of rattan bamboo furniture out here. You'll see that there are old magazines there, and you will see there's dust covered door. Do you just let yourselves in?
Oh no, that's horribly rude. I'm going to do ring or knock
Cool.
or whatever.
Kind of hit that bell. No result. Hit that a couple times, and then you'll knock, and there will be no reply.
Actually, there's someone there. Okay. There's the other house.
Oh, actually, I guess I am still in coyote form, so I can't just reach up and turn the doorknob. Like, I just kind of like paw at the door.
We haven't been. No one said that. It would be very rude.
You think you can paw the door open, Aldo?
I will try.
Okay. It's not locked, so I think we've
Oh,
seen
cool. Yeah.
seen dogs open doors, so I think
Oh,
when we
yeah.
see you open a door
Um,
and
does it smell like anyone has been here in any time recently?
no,
Okay.
it'll open into a front room. The rooms in this house, there are a lot of rooms on the kind of looking at the first floor. It's a lot of open, like kind of open plan where there are a lot of rooms, but you can kind of see around from one room to the other. There is like in here kind of goes back, and there's a parlor room and a little dining room. Uh, there are curtains, uh, and the thing that will strike you is uh, there is tape, like white, wide tape around the perimeter of the rooms on the floor, like outlining each room.
Oh, okay.
And you will see that there are rocks very carefully placed, sea-worn rocks on those white strips of tape marking out each room.
Is
Kind of,
the tape like right up against the wall, or is there
yeah,
some
it's
space
very much
between the
like
wall?
if you were to draw like an architectural plan kind of thing, it's marking out that space, you know, like if you were to outline a body or were to mark out architecturally. But then they've got these rocks on there. And someone had very carefully painted each room completely in one color. So, like this dining room is seafoam blue, and the floor is seafoam blue, The walls are seafoam blue. The ceiling is seafoam blue. The furniture and stuff that's in here is not painted, but like all of the trim, all of the edges around the windows, it's all that color. Only broken up by that white tape around the outsides.
Reminds me of a dollhouse my little sister had when we were kids.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
It's like fake.
Suit is having a hard time bringing himself to go in uninvited. Does Aldo go?
Oh yeah, yeah. Aldo is already like wandering through the room, sniffing things.
No one came to. I haven't been invited, and there's no one called. It would be horribly rude to allow a wild animal to wander around in someone's house without doing anything about it. It would. It would only be a polite thing to go in and. I should help clear out the wild animal. All right, I'm coming in to help clear out the wild animal that has found its way into this house. I'm just being a good neighbor.
Besides Mr. Suits shouting, um, the, the house is incredibly quiet. There is that bit when you walk in when all you're hearing is that tap of your nails on the wood, that tick tack, tick tick tick. When you hear the cat, you haven't clipped them for a while and they've gotten along, or the dog is walking across the floor, and that's the only sound you hear. Um, and you will walk through. That dollhouse description is a really good one because everything is set here very display house, very concrete, very real, very anchored, kind of like this is what this room is. And there are like dishes that are set out just so and things. Now, mind you, everything is covered with dust because it sand and dust from the wind and time, and you would guess this place hasn't been walked in since that hurricane. Um, doesn't look like it has a basement, but it does have an upstairs, um, and you can kind of walk up.
Shoo, shoo, bad coyote. No, don't go further up the stairs.
There's no carpeting anywhere in here. Um, but you will see, there's clearly a a master bedroom, um, uh, and some side bedrooms up here, and like a water closet, kind of old style bathroom. The thing that you'll see is that master bedroom that you come in. It's the room that on the other house that Dune kind of comes up to that window. You can tell that's probably where it goes in the other one. And it is a fine bed. It is a beautiful, like, sideboard. The only thing that kind of breaks the look here is that there is a big dresser. But there must be a mirror there, but that mirror is covered with a black curtain hanging down.
Well, I mean, I think I'm like start to grab at the curtain and then turn and look at Mr. Suit like
You don't think definitely isn't a funeral going on here. No, there would be people
Right
here if there
now.
was a funeral. So it's probably just to protect the valuable furnishings. So it wouldn't be. Anyways, how could I stop a uncontrollable wild animal from viciously tearing down any curtains it might find?
Okay. I'll grab the corner of the curtain with my teeth and, yank it away.
No,
And
stop.
there is a shuddering feeling that you have, and you're staring at the mirror, but you'll realize that the room has spun around. And you can see that the mirror is reflecting the room, but it's empty. And as you kind of look at the window, which had the light coming in before, there's less light coming in, and you can see that the sand is up against the base of this window, and you are very clearly in the other house.
So we now are, or we're seeing that through the mirror.
Oh no, you have moved into
Cool.
the other house. And you will hear the baying of hounds.
That's cool.
See, this is why you don't go in and uninvited, especially to two houses. I'm in a second house. No one is. It's fine. It's fine. They're probably just maybe the dogs own the
I'm
house.
like trying to stifle a whimper and hide, diving under the bed.
Okay. And you will start to hear the pawing of dogs, that scratching of dogs at the door to the bedroom. Sounds like a lot of them.
So sorry. I don't know how we found her. Well, I was just trying to make sure that. Well, there was this coyote, and I don't. Are any of you mad that I'm in your house?
They are just to hear the barking now, the baying of hounds trying to get in through that door. The door kind of hear it shaking. What do you do? Aldo's jumped underneath the bed. What do you do, Mr. Suit?
Gonna go over and try poking at that mirror again, or is this one covered? Or did
No,
the cover come off?
there's no cover on it.
Aldo? Oh.
Why don't you make an overcome roll for me?
I guess it's fear.
That seems reasonable at this point. Yes, I think so.
I honestly think he's still slightly more upset about invading someone's home than the dogs, but the dogs aren't nothing.
True.
Ooh, 7.
And you will fall into the water of that mirror. And I don't know if you've ever seen Prince of Darkness, where the mirror is like a body of water. It is that, and you will fall into that. And there is a bit where you find yourself in deep undertow, and then you will break surface, and you will see this figure squatted there on the shore with his chain, and you will see you are at Tinfoil Venice, and you will see that goblin moving forward to extend his hand to you. Come here, little fishy. Come here, come here.
Ah, That tastes. Wait, is this the goblin I met before?
Oh yeah. The one who you had to kind of stay out of the range of him because he was trying to eat you.
Oh, oh. Nope. I'm so grateful for the offered assistance, but I'm fine. It's just a lot of.
Here, come here,
It's been a
little
lot of
fishy.
sand.
I'll cut
Salt.
you. I'll cut you, and it'll be tasty.
No, I'd really. It's if you just there was a bag of sandwiches here just a moment ago.
And he begins to splash through the surf, truly trying to get at you as you're kind of in the water there. What do
Oh
you
no,
do?
that's so kind. But I'm not in any state. You see, the suit is just absolute. No, that's so. Maybe at a different time.
Let's have you stay strong, and then I'm going to come back to Aldo.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to change things up now.
Yeah, fear seems good.
My dice are shaking. Come on, buddy. No? There we are. So also 7
So,
or 8.
mark a mood, but you will be able to kind of get to dry land and outside of the range of his grabby hands, and his sharpened stick.
Oh,
Uh,
that's new.
yes. And kind of bring yourself there. We'll cut back to Aldo. Aldo, you're under the bed, and you hear the
Right.
bang of the dogs, and then you hear a
Uh-huh.
bloop, and you don't see Mr. Suit's feet anymore from underneath the bed.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I mean, there are these hunting dogs that are after me, and if they kill me here on Earth, I'm probably not coming back immediately. Um, uh, so I think it's like a competition between blind, mindless panic and where the hell is Mr. Suit? I think I like creep out from under the bed
There are
and
two
look around
exits
and
that you will see. Mr. Suit is gone. You have the mirror and you have the window.
right. And the window, wait, is the window broken?
The window is not broken.
Okay, I didn't ask that when we first came in. So, okay, window's not broken. He clearly didn't go that way. We came here through the mirror. All right. And I will just jump straight at the mirror.
Let's have you roll overcome.
Cool. This is fear.
Again, checks out.
12.
Whoop.
12?
Yep.
You are back in the other house. And that curtain
Okay.
has fallen down. And Mr. Suit is not
And I
there.
still don't see Mr. Suit anywhere.
Nope. You may be hearing in the distance, 4.
Right. I guess I have been sort of assuming that I can more or less communicate with Mr. Suit while in coyote form, but I don't
Yeah.
know that I can talk. I don't know if we ever established that.
That's a question for you.
And I don't want to feel like I'm cheating here by like having full
You
conversations.
haven't taken any kind of disadvantage that says,
Okay.
you've got a 5-point GURPS, can't talk in coyote form or anything. So you can feel free
Okay.
to say you
Okay,
can.
cool. Yeah, so I think I'm roaming around yelling for him and listening for hounds.
You're not hearing hounds at
But
all.
like eventually, oh shit, I gotta go back through the stupid mirror again.
We'll come
think it's
back
more
to you
cautious.
two in just one moment. Marrow, Lydia, what are you doing after this ghost talk?
Would you like a coffee? We could run by a nice cafe, grab some beignets. Nothing bad's going on, right?
You're muted.
You are muted, my love.
It's your motorcycle. She's trying to. So yes, she's nodding because I think she can tell that you mouth beignets. So she's all about the sugar. But yes,
So we'll post up somewhere quiet, grab some coffee and some beignets, and well, what are
This is
you?
the first time you two have been kind of alone together, like not on a mission.
it's true. But do you like the darker beignets or the sort of lighter ones?
The darker ones have a good crunchy kind of thing.
They do, but I do like the pillowy softness one, the light ones. So I think we've come to a perfect compromise. Dark ones for you, the light ones for me. It's like we were meant to eat beignets together.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
So
Well, we found out some things, and I have a feeling that you're wanting to keep looking into these things.
yes.
So what do you think we should do next?
Well,
We could tell the goblins that we found out witches shot him.
was it witches? Or was it that well, maybe it was witches and ghosts. Or is the Carolinian possessed? See, that's the thing.
I think we'll get in very great danger if we start throwing his name around.
Okay.
And just to clarify, Lowell,
Yes,
we did get the impression from the Greek sailor that witches were involved in this shooting, correct?
he said that witches were involved with those ghosts over there.
Oh,
He said the possessed were the people who did some stuff.
Possessed, whatever that means.
yes.
But it sounded like it was like multiple possessed, right?
He certainly
Possessed,
described them as a group.
A group of possessed.
that implies if we have restless ghosts and we have a group called possessed, that sounds like people with ghosts in them, right?
Yes, to me it does. But I mean, I'm really just thinking about like what I've heard in movies. Is that something I should consider? I
No,
feel
what
like
have you
I'm
heard?
a little on the outside of a cult. Of the occult. I don't know these things. I have to see. I have to look something up before I say where I heard it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So, well, I mean, you saw the Poltergeist, right? Or Poltergeist. It's just the movie's called Poltergeist.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was the one where it was well, there were a whole bunch of cheap films that came out after that, and they've used words like that. That's all. Like, there are people possessed by ghosts and they do things. So that's what I thought.
I remember the commercials for it, but looked scary, and at the time, my folks wouldn't let me see anything like that. But you think it's relevant?
I do think it's relevant. I think what the ghost said was relevant. That's some group of people that's here. You don't know anything about. I don't know anything about them. You don't know anything about them. So we got to find someone who maybe knows something about them.
Okay.
So that's our next step.
Well, Wisdom is an archivist, and at the moment is a bit more upbeat on us.
Okay.
We also, I suppose we could try to find out. I don't know anyone who runs around in graveyards more than I do, really, honestly.
Well, it's not the most welcoming place.
Oh, contraire. It's very welcoming.
Perhaps you would know better. I haven't spent much time in graveyards myself. So
Very peaceful.
is it? Seemed like there was some stuff going on at that one, though.
They have their own little things they do. It keeps them going. They have a lot of time on their hands.
Right, all right. But who do you think would be a specialist in some of the other sort of unusual sorts of people that are here in Mobile? Do you think Wisdom is the best person? Because I'm all for going to see them. Or we could, if you,
Wisdom would have a bunch of information.
okay.
I think Bane Becky might
Bean
would
Becky.
certainly know more on. I mean, she certainly keeps up with the sorts of more macabre things.
Okay. Oh, wait, isn't she in charge of one of the,
She's the Duke of
She's-
Lanterns.
Yes, she's
Oh.
my lord.
oh. Why don't we
We
start
get along
with
quite
Wisdom?
well.
Oh, really? Do you think, why don't we start with Wisdom Wales, and then if we don't get an answer, maybe we can petition to speak with your lord.
Right.
Okay.
And the person you know that knows most about immortals amongst the community is Miss Bashan.
Yes. The Immortals. All right. That's true. And I go, oh, and my friend knows about the Immortals, all the tea. So we can check in with her then too.
Well, it seems like we have quite a lot on our plate, and we should check it off one by one.
All right. And she pulls out a little notebook. She'll write down Wisdom Wales. And then is Bastard. Okay.
Let's come back to Mr. Suit on the beach.
We're having a lovely time. That's the
Mhm.
fade out from us.
You are like not waterlogged because that isn't how the undertow works. Uh, uh, but you feel wet.
I am going to.
Mr. Suit. Mr. Suit. That is who you are, right? Right?
Yes. And you are? I don't think I got your name before.
I don't think I gave it before. So why are you back here again and again and again? Why you come to what was Tinfoil Venice?
I suppose a form of sightseeing? Why are you still here, though?
Because I am chained down here, Mr. Suit.
It's just a mechanism. It's not a reason.
Well, I think it's pretty reasonable in that it is very concrete. It is a thing. But if you think it is, perhaps you could help me in shattering the illusion of the chains that I am suffering under, and you could break this chain for me.
I could, I'm sure, but who chained
Yes,
you?
so powerful are you. Oh, a Sunken, so much power around you could easily break it. Ah, I was chained here by my folk, my goblin folk, but they are all almost gone. They are gone from here, and that is good enough for me to say that they are all gone.
Here, this place, though. Tinfoil Venice.
Yes, yes. See the ruins. See this place. Look upon my works, ye mighty. And
Yes.
despair.
Oh. Let's see how much despair we can find our way into. Sit down outside of the reach of his chain, ideally.
I think that goes without saying.
And pull out from my pocket the stone that I took from here before. I'm going to hold it up to my mouth and whisper to it that you're from this place, Tinfoil Venice. It was anchored around a stone. And that stone was not you. But even the sand on the beach remembers being a mountain. And you can remember what it was to hold this place together, even if just for a short time. I want to spend time trying to craft an illusion
Okay.
and bring Tinfoil Venice back for a bit.
Interesting. Let's have you roll.
I suppose this is calm,
Okay.
or at least the attempt at it. There's some challenges at the moment.
That seems fair.
How do you feel? You feel like rolling? Doing stuff? Oh, you feel like doing bad things. That's a 4.
That is a 4. So I think that you will reach out
God.
into
Oh, the misses, really. Okay.
into that to try and bring that to life. And I think that you're trying to do that when you will hear the baying of hounds, and you will see these dogs emerging from the water. A pack, a wild hunt, and they are on your trail. And they begin like you're trying to just to kind of like where you're like getting right. So your mind is concentrating completely on the illusion. It is shattered by those. So I think your calm is broken. So please mark calm.
Cool. This is all going really well.
And we'll come back to you in a second. Aldo, Mr. Suit
Yep.
isn't here.
Yep. Ah, which means another thing I can think of to do is jump back through that window or that mirror and try the window.
Okay.
uh, if you want to have me roll something to do that, that would be extremely fair.
But you are going through the mirror rather than the you're just lifting up the curtain again, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then you will lift up the curtain and you are back in that room, even as you kind of look and you see this dog vanishing into the mirror, the haunches of it vanishing into there. And you'll see that the door to this room is open and there's a forest outside.
Ah, well, let's see. I went through the mirror and it just went back to the other house. So I guess I'll go through the door.
Hey, you'll look out of the door and you will see that it opens out into a woods. It
Okay.
is, it is, it goes on as far as you can see. It is, as soon as you put your feet down, You realize that it is wet and slick with mud and leaves, that kind of thick loam of a buildup under the trees, and it
Mhm.
is cold and wet. And in the distance, you probably hear other animals.
Um, yeah, I'm
The
I'm
thing
going
that
to him or I'm
strikes
trying to find
you
Mr. Suit.
is actually, I would now actually like you to roll here an inner turmoil.
Gotcha. I will do that. Um, I think this is still fear because I am I still don't know what happened to Mr. Suit.
Right.
So I'm looking for him. Well, not sure at all that he would have come this way because the door was closed before. Come on, roll. It's considering it. There we go.
That
8.
is an 8. So as you step in here into these woods, and you can kind of see the door frame behind you, it's kind of standing there. And at first you're like, okay, is this a glamour? Is this an illusion? Is this, have I walked, transited into somewhere like in the undertow kind of thing? But then you realize what it feels like. The the character of it, the feel, the concreteness of it, it feels like a homeland of a taker. It feels like you've walked into one of those. Do you want to flee, mark sinking, or mark mood?
Ooh.
You are alone and you have walked into a homeland.
Yeah, my first instinct is to flee. But I think I'm gonna mark sinking.
Okay.
Um, like we came here to find out like what's going on here, and clearly this is what's going on here. Um, also, I still have to find Mr. Suit, and I have reason to think he didn't go through any of the possible exits, so
Yep.
it might as well be this one. So I'm going to search for him
Okay.
in a more or less circular pattern around whatever of the building exists from here.
We'll come back to you. I want to come back to Mr. Suit for just a second. Hey, Mr. Suit, what do you do when this dog pack comes after you?
I stand up quickly, throw the rock onto the ground, cursing it for its uselessness, and yell, "Hey, goblin! I offer you the gift of these hounds in exchange for safe passage across your territory." And I'll run straight towards him.
Okay. Let's have you stay strong.
um, Jesus, I really wish I could go with better stats. Power though. This is what I imagine a takery type move to be. Come on, dice. No, continue that. That's fine. That's a 5.
That's a 5. Do you want to burn bonds?
I would love to. You want to give me some bonds?
Oh, there is that. So do me a favor and mark a mood.
Oh no.
I think you are that the pack is slowed by their tearing of that goblin to pieces. Think you look back and you'll see him, he's all excited, he has his stick out, and then they are on him. like a mass, and they tear at him and rip at him, and then then you just hear the sound of a chain falling to the ground, and the dogs stop, and then they look and they chase after you.
That is not what I thought was going to happen.
And you are desperately running ahead of them. You realize that you're going to need to go into the undertow.
Yep, yep, yep.
Um, so let's have you make that roll.
I mean, luckily it's an island, so there's water on all sides.
Yep. And it is literally in the undertow. So you are already kind of starting from there.
It's nope, nope, tabs, wrong tabs. I'm gonna go with anger. I'm angry at the stone, and now I'm cursing that stupid goblin.
Yep.
All he did was threaten me, and then he just couldn't back it up.
Yep.
I'm gonna use a different set of dice. Is what I'm gonna do.
Oh, because you could change your dice avatar.
Yes, and those were
Dice
evil.
Vatar? That be good. Divatar.
Okay, they're trembling. They are filled with fear. Okay, I'm gonna click it again. It's gonna roll twice just because I wasn't patient enough.
Oh my
Jeez.
God.
Good lord. Okay, these dice.
And then the other one's betrayed you. So why don't we go with the second one? No, we'll go with the first roll. So what would you like?
Oh wow, actually, I'm just used to failing. I get choices?
Do you want to arrive where you want, evade pursuit, find what you want, or learn something about the world?
And then on a 10 plus, pick another one. I would like to evade pursuit, please.
Okay, you will run
And
and
oh, and I have to pick a downside. Good.
it's desperate catching of currents and trying to find the passage, coming up on shoals and then diving down in, trying to listen for the real world, trying to listen to the dogs baying behind you, trying to get ahead of them. What do you want for your pick for the second part?
I'm I'm gonna mark sinking. I think there is like even being in the midst of the undertow, there's something about what was stripped away from this place that makes it hard for me to find the way out, and I have to
Absolutely.
force it, open myself up, and pour power out.
Excuse me.
Gazit.
Sorry. Oh, holy cow. Uh, and you will find yourself on the bridge across the bay. Cars go shooting past you.
No! Gonna frogger my way to the side.
Okay. Aldo, let's have you make a study roll.
Yeah, I think I'm just using fear all the whole
Yeah,
session.
Until we burn you out of that fear, we can mark it for
Right.
you.
Oh, that's a failure.
That is a failure. There is a moment when you're walking around these woods and the sounds of all the animals that you've been hearing stop. And you've come to an area where it feels like the edge of the woods, like you're moving into another space and darker. warmer but darker, and then you will have the sense that something has begun to hunt you. You haven't seen it, you haven't heard it, you haven't smelled it, but the hackles in the back of your neck go up, and you will realize that something has chosen you as its prey and is stalking you. And you've seen no sign of Mr. Suit.
Um, yeah, I think that's when I just chicken out and bolt for the
Okay.
building.
You can run back into that master bedroom.
Yep.
Do you go through the mirror, or do
Yep.
you go out the window?
Uh, wait, actually, yeah, I run straight through the window. Like just break the glass, run straight through.
You will break that glass, and there is a pop as you feel something released as you break that window, and you will roll down those dunes. Hey, so let's cut to Marrow and Lydia talking with uh our good friend Wisdom Wales. They have taken you back to their office, and they have brought out some sweet tea, and they've
We'll
got,
put down the beignets that we've brought. So,
they say, I have a person who works in the library who is Polish, and she made these things for me. They're called kiflis. They've got some walnuts in them. No, you're neither of you are allergic to nuts, right?
oh, thank goodness, no.
Yeah, here, please have some. Lots of powdered sugar on them.
Hmm.
You really do need the sweet tea's probably not the best. Here, let me start the coffee maker.
Because these are very nice kiflis, though. I mean, my compliments to the baker.
Tell her that. Marrow, I hope that my calls around have been of use to you.
Oh, very much. I thank you again.
I appreciate your service. Have you found out anything more about what happened?
That's
Yeah.
sort of why we're here.
Mhm. We need, let's say that what we learned just led to a few more questions, and you seem like perhaps the person who might know the most. So, one of the ghosts referred to some set of personalities that were there at the site of the shooting as the possessed.
You heard that
That's
phrase before?
Not a phrase I know, no.
started as ghosts that had taken over bodies. It's not a known faction or a description of some other powerful group.
Don't know ghosts. It's a little outside of my area, besides the registry that, you know, the rituals that we have for keeping them calm, since often we have to work in the same areas as they do, but I know that Relentless Third has claimed some knowledge of ghosts in the world of the ghosts.
Hmm. I think
So
I've
they're they're
oh,
they're a little
the chess ring.
as I don't know as I would take them at their word sometimes, but perhaps you could bargain with them for some information. I know that you've had some interactions with him, Marrow.
Yeah, he's been a bit. I don't know why, but he seems very touchy when we're around. Like he likes to touch me.
Well, I think my impression was that uh, he was very entranced with you with the meeting that you had at that first time at that coffee shop, and
I've
that
never had coffee with him.
that's not what he said. But again, as I said, he's something of
No, we've just had a few casual meetings here and there. And then all of a sudden, yeah, he seemed like we were the best of buddies or
well, he
more.
described very much a rom-com meet cute with you.
I don't really have those, no.
That worries me then. That doesn't strike me as mentally stable, if you know what I mean. Uh,
I probably should talk to him. Maybe let him know that that something was amiss.
Oh, mistaken identity, but I can't think of any other taken who look like you, Morrow.
I don't know. That's very strange.
There are there any taken who are good at making themselves look like other taken?
There
It's
are a
not.
few.
There are a few, Wisdom says, and then doesn't say anything else.
Ah,
Um, uh,
hmm.
but perhaps I could direct you to a mortal who has some knowledge of ghosts.
Oh, okay.
There is a ghost breaker by the name of 13.
Are they in the know about us?
I don't think they understand what we are.
What do they
They
think
may
we are?
mistake, they can't see through our guise, our visage. Uh, they were some years ago when we had an issue, they were a useful consultant on things. They don't know exactly what we are. They know that we are people with a foot in the supernatural.
Mm.
But to make it clear, they don't know that we're a group.
Oh,
So you don't have to present yourself as a taken or a sunken or anything like that. You just present yourself as independent operators.
okay. Then should we say that you sent us, or should we just
You
show up and
can
say hello?
use my, and she'll reach in and pull out like the business card that she has for her human identity.
Oh, okay.
You can show them this and say that I sent you along.
All right.
You, I mean, you kind of view Boots a bit. Um, why would ghosts want him dead, can you think of? Or can you think of anyone else that might want him dead?
Oops was at the center of power, trade, and information for one of the three goblin tribes operating here. Goblins get around. They pushed out the existing goblin folk when they arrived. Most of them were in tinfoil Venice, of course, and that's all gone. There are many reasons why one would want a goblin dead. Besides having to have a duel with them, and certainly since I didn't have a duel with them, their passing, and they were shot by a dream bullet, their passing is not on my head.
No.
Hmm.
And it would have even been satisfying because he didn't show up. He sent a proxy. Not very noble at all.
Well, I assume he would have it was assumed he would have arrived had he
Not
had
been
he
Oh,
not
I
been
don't
shot.
think so. That second really gave me the impression that he intended to fight.
Yes, yes. So anyway, let's not dwell on those things, shall we? Let's just leave that aside for the moment.
Yes, yes. Um, well, this has been extremely helpful, Wisdom. Thank you very, very much.
You're more than welcome. Always glad to be of service to you.
If your friend should happen to have the recipe for those pierogi,
Keithley's.
Keithley's. Oh, I always mix them up,
Yes.
but no, Keithley's.
They're very, very different though.
Super different.
Yes.
I like kolaches.
Well,
Oh,
what is that?
It's a
They're-
more savory dough pastry type thing.
it's rolled, so with a seed usually, filling of some sort, sometimes nuts, sometimes seeds, and yes, very nice.
So, Lydia, do you plan to enter the competition when Mardi Gras comes around?
Which competition?
The king cake competition.
For the most tasty?
All the taken that participate will bake their own king cake with their own unique king in it, and we have a little bake off.
Ooh, that sounds amazingly fun.
There are some restrictions on what can be the king that you put in it. So we've had some issues with that in the past. So, but I'll get you the notes on that.
Ooh,
Oh, real
all right.
babies.
Yeah, if there are any particular rules, I would not want to break those rules.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So, Mr. Suit, you're on the bridge. Your car is not with you. It is a long way away. What do you do?
Hmm.
And then it starts to rain.
That's just rude.
Just that kind of light drizzle coming off of the Gulf.
I guess I'll call Marrow?
So you walk to the end of the bridge till you find a payphone.
I definitely don't have a cell phone. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And then you will call the phone at the apartments. Hello? Oh, what was it? Who do you want?
It is Marrow there?
What apartment?
The one that he's in?
What number?
I'd say a number.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Marrow. Just as you and Lydia are pulling up.
oh,
Someone on the phone for you. Posh accent.
ooh, this might be your chance.
I don't know. Okay. I will head to the phone.
Okay.
Hello?
Marrow?
Oh, it's just Mr. Suit.
Oh,
What,
not
wait,
exciting at
okay.
all.
There's so much else going on. Did you say it's just Mr. Suit?
Well, someone said it was a posh accent, and while that's correct, I was going, my goodness, who would that be? But it
Yep.
was you.
Just Mr. Suit?
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant.
What have
Oh,
I
it's-
worked my entire life for? Yeah, it is
I
not
meant to
be
say
just
it's Mr.
Mr.
Suit.
Suit.
Are you all right, Suit?
I tore my jacket and I'm on a bridge and I lost my car and also Aldo.
I'm sorry about your what? What do you mean you lost Aldo? Where
There
did
were
you lose Aldo?
there were hounds and then there was a
Hounds?
chain and an island and a mirror, sand, and I also lost that horrible little goblin man.
Oh, uh, what bridge are you on? I'll be there in a minute. What you lost your car? Oh, I hope it's all right. And Aldo, where are you? What bridge?
On the end of this bridge.
He's on the sort of city side end of the big bridge across the bay.
Oh, okay. I'll be there. We'll be there in a minute. We'll be there in a minute.
And she sort of goes, wait, you're going to go pick up Mr. Suit?
Well, yeah.
You're going to need the sidecar for him. I can't go with you.
Well, we got to get to his car. I mean, hopefully his car's something. He's lost his car. And Aldo,
Oh, well, I guess
Can
I
you-
can.
ride behind. Well,
Yeah,
it-
I
we,
Yeah, okay,
I mean, you
let's
don't
do it,
need to
let's
do it going there because
Exactly.
But
She
you
started
can
to
if
get
you
up, and then she
want.
realized it and sat back down. Let's go.
Aldo, brackish puck will come over to where you are at the butt base of that dune thing. You
Shaking
okay?
off the broken glass.
That was very action hero.
That place is terrifying.
Didn't like the look of it. I got to admit, that's why I was putting over here.
The window takes you in between houses, and the bedroom door in that house takes you into a homeland. It's
I told you that's what they wanted to make.
well, they did.
That's not good. That's an empty
No,
homeland sitting
it
right
is not.
smack down in the middle of Changeling Town.
I'm not sure how empty it is.
Oh, that's even worse. And you see
There
now that as he's talking to you, he's like backing up very gently, very slowly. Yes, that doesn't sound like a
there was
great
something
thing.
there hunting me, and that I heard hounds. Well,
I didn't hear
not
any
just
hounds.
heard them like a long way off. They were trying to break down the door, and have you seen Mr.
Hey,
Suit? Because
I was just about to ask where Mr. Suit was.
okay, I went through the window, through the mirror, and it took me back to that house, and he wasn't there. It went through the door. It took me to the woods, and he wasn't there. And I jumped through the window, and I rolled down here, and he's not here.
You have to excuse me,
Where
I'm a
else
nervous
could-
eater. Okay. Uh, I say that we go back to where the car is at and we drive the car and we get the other people and then then you drop me off at my little hole under the stairs and then you can come back and investigate at your leisure.
Ah, but what if and I'm like sniffing around and obviously can't find any sign of him on
Right.
the dunes. Like,
I
he's
I
don't
just
wanna just
think
leave
maybe
him
we probably
here.
need some other people here. If we go down, uh, mhm.
You're right, and And I hate that I'm feeling protective of a goblin, but you don't belong here.
I appreciate that you're feeling protective of a goblin. Like that feels good to me. I'm just gonna
Damn
hang on to this
it.
putter, this green putter, and these green balls, and let's use these defensively if I need to, and let's walk back down the
All
bridge.
right, let's go back to the car, and I will go and get the others and come back and find Mr. Suit without you. Okay. Okay, fine.
And I do think that for sheer point of drama, we have to have, as you're kind of standing around, like, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to call for a cab, or do I want to try to coyote run back to the house, or what do I want to do? Do I hotwire Mr. Suit's car? Uh, that we see the motorcycle with Lydia behind Marrow and Mr. Suit driving up.
I'm absolutely trying to hotwire the car.
Yes, Mr. Suit, you will see your car door is
Stop, thief! Like trying to extricate myself from the sidecar while the motorcycle's still rolling.
We found Aldo.
You hear from the trunk. She's just hot wiring it. He's just hot wiring it.
What? What do you know? That's a mostly new car.
Yeah, it looks like he had to pop the lock on the trunk to get in too.
Oh,
Some scratches on that.
You're what? I was gonna take the car and go back and get the others to rescue you, and how are you not? What happened?
Well, there were dogs and
you
a mirror
tell us
and an
what happened.
island.
Yes, there
See,
were all of
that's
those
all I keep
things.
saying. She kind of goes, "What is this place?"
right. Because we heard nothing. Suit jumped in the car, into the sidecar, and we were like, we got to find Aldo because you were missing, and he directed us this way, which seems to also be the car, I'm sure, coincidentally.
I told you all the important things. My suit is torn and wet and filled with sand and covered in goblin blood.
Well,
Um,
Aldo, is it still raining?
Trunk comes open, hand comes up and out.
No,
Yes. We
Why
all
are you
say
covered
yes,
in
you say
goblin
no.
blood?
because I'm not covered in my own blood.
And
Is
that
this-
follows
is
how?
this a taken thing? I
How'd you get goblin blood on you?
I didn't get goblin blood on me. The angry dogs did.
Oh,
they got goblin blood on them?
Sort of everywhere.
Oh.
this
What-
needs a quiet place where we can talk. How about
We could play putt
we
putt.
go home? No. Why
He's
don't
looking
we
at
I
the
only got
putt.
we shouldn't do it. I only got 2 of the holes cleared.
Oh,
should
I
go
like
home?
putt putt though.
I do too. That's why I've got this club.
There is a
Where'd you
door
get
to
your-
a homeland about 50
Okay,
yards
we're
away
going
that
now.
way.
We're going now. We're going
Are there?
now.
Is that crumbs in my? You're gonna attract ants.
We're going now where? Home? Not
Home.
going.
We're going back to the apartments. Yes. We're going to get Mr. Suit a new suit to wear. Well, we're going to get him, he's going to change into a different suit. And then we'll figure out everything else. But I don't want to do it here because I heard the word homeland and this is not the place to be. Okay.
I liked the part where you were getting me a new suit.
If you would drive, and is Lily, you want to ride with me still?
Yes.
Okay. And all right.
There is a moment when you say, "I'm about to ride," and that you see Puck kind of look like is about to say, "Hey, can I?" And then you invite Liddy, and you hear the trunk close.
All right. You beat back. Just go straight back.
Unless you want me to drive the car, Mr. Suit.
I do not.
See, I knew that'd get him on it. Okay, let's go.
And the four of you will make your way back home, and that's where we're stopping.
Okay.
Yes, this needs cocoa and perhaps something nice. Dippily.
Lily,
Yes.
did you express your take in nature?
Ooh. Let's see here. I think our conversation with the witch had a very like acknowledging that we were weird and she was weird.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Did you express your humanity?
I think my obsession with the key fleas that I forgot the name of just after hearing it.
Okay, give you that. I don't think we hit
No, my
arrival or
entanglements.
entanglements.
Just yep.
I was
I
waiting
did get
for
to spend some time with Morrow.
yeah, but I was
But
waiting
we
for
didn't
that
get
to
to-
go off script from business, and then I would have had an inner conflict, but you didn't go there. So
Well, there are so many lovely directions to go in, and we went in a lot of them, but not that one. So I regret nothing. So
Marrow,
Oh,
your taken self.
yes, I bled for a ghost.
That for a ghost, and you tried to bring lies into the world.
mhm.
That's right. I
Uh,
successfully did bring lies.
and your humanity.
Yeah, I think both the sitting quietly to discuss things with Lily, but also kind of the real pull of getting home after this sort of stress and trauma of getting us all back together. That desire to be back home and safe feels very human to me.
Excellent. And you did interact with your rival.
I did interact.
Okay. So that's three. Aldo, did you express your taken self?
Yes, I did.
And did you express your humanity?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you were treating the goblins with some.
Mostly in the form of confusion about what to
Yes.
do. And
I don't think we hit your entanglements.
no.
Uh, let's come to Mr. Suit. Did you express your take in nature?
Yeah, I think especially like their being unable to enter the house because it was rude and he wasn't
Yeah.
invited.
That worry seemed reasonable. And did you express your humanity?
I honestly think him like wet and bedraggled on the side of the road waiting at a payphone.
Yes. A truly human moment. I don't
The
think we
worst human moment.
Yeah.
The worst.
I don't think we hit your rivals or entanglements, so that's just 2 points.
Cool.
Stars and wishes, Lydia.
I had a lovely time with Morrow this evening. It was just a nice thing. We got to meet some new people. We got to hear about some new rumors. We get to go talk to some friends and new people to find out more about those. Our time was just looking absolutely up and lovely. So I enjoyed that immensely. It made for and then I loved switching to the other group and it going terribly wrong and awful, all the darkest. Well done.
I hope everybody who rolled misses took the XP for their misses. So
Oh, hold on, let me mark something.
Yeah, I think you leveled then, didn't you?
Oh yes.
Yes, you did.
wishes, Lydia.
I know I'm really kind of excited. I got king cakes in the future. I've got, going to meet this Mr. 13 or just 13. And then there's getting to see Ms. Bosson again. This whole thing is just so full of awesome people that I can visit with along with my fellow Taken. So there's just so much to do. But king cakes, wow.
All right. Marrow.
Yeah, this was. Did I mute myself? No, I'm talking.
No, you're good.
This was very cute. I agree with what Sherry says. That kind of back and forth from the calmest of sort of dealings. I mean, even our encounter with the ghosts and the witch was pretty cozy. I mean, it wasn't real dark and grim particularly. And then the extreme uh, excitement of Suit and Aldo. It was a really cool back and forth. Um, I think both pairs. We don't see these two pairs a lot.
Mhm.
Um, we certainly don't see Aldo and Suit as a duo a lot. And I thought the chemistry there was really quite
It was really
good.
good.
Mhm.
Um, there's a real practicality, and there's something to the two of them together that was really working out. I mean, despite horrible circumstances. Um, I thought it was creepy as well, Lowell. I thought that whole duo house and it was creepy, and I love creepy, and there was something to that was stark and kind of frightening. It was nice. Um, and it was, you know, uh, all in all, I really liked this direction with wisdom. I don't know if it's the sort of thing that maybe I should look to a new rival. I don't, or if we want to develop up something more with wisdom and I, but also getting that the reason that wisdom dislikes me kind of is off the table now.
Yeah, I think so. We might want to consider that. Yeah.
Um, but tons of fun, huge stars.
Oh,
Wishes. Um, we are we have a ton of stuff on the table. I wouldn't mind seeing either some clarity or I don't know if the two things are intermixed. I don't know if the two things are intermixed. Maybe seeing at least a vision of one or the other that is, you know, kind of kind of moving in.
okay.
I feel a little like I'm still floundering out there, and it's broadening, and considering time and how far we are
Yeah,
in, maybe seeing some
yeah.
things narrow in might be nice.
We've definitely got the Immortals and their war and what's kind of going on with that, which is kind of touched on to the goblin stuff. And then we've got the thing with the
Hmm.
other group. So yeah, I'll see about like so that we can get some clarity, answers, that kind of thing. Aldo.
Yes. Stars for making an abandoned beach house, two abandoned beach houses, absolutely terrifying. Uh, and,
It was the
I had
seafoam green, I think. So
well, yeah, I mean, it started out like sort of eerie and weird, and then like, oh, yeah, this all leads to places where terrible things happen, and goblins get torn to shreds by hounds. Um, uh, Also, I mean, stars to the entire conversation with Marrow and Lydia. You're right. We haven't seen these pairings, like these teams before much. So it was really interesting to see like a different set of team ups here. Um, and 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 yes, Mr. Suit's like, I can't go in unless invited. Oh, there is a wild animal wandering through this place. When the place was so clearly completely abandoned and nobody had been there ever. That's still like being held back thing. I thought it was very telling of Mr. Suit's character in a way that like we kind of saw before, but not really. Um, that like being restrained by rules that absolutely do not apply in this situation. So that was very cool.
Excellent.
And wishes, yeah, I don't really have any. I feel like there are many threads going on right now. But I like all of them, so I'm cool with whatever happens.
Okay, that is fair. Mr. Suit.
Um, yeah, this was great. Like everybody said, the island, just the abandoned nature of all of it, and the mirroring was super cool, and just like the like sort of House of Mirrors, like flip from location to weird location, all in this same sort of turning set of doors was really interesting and cool. And the terrifying. This place is awful. Let's never come back here. um, as much as I am tormented by dice, that was a really interesting set of misses.
Hmm.
Um, that is not at all where I was planning any of that to go, but it was fun and fascinating and ended up like showing and highlighting some things that I don't think we would have gotten to otherwise.
Hmm.
Um, and also just like watching Marrow and Lydia like summon ghosts and talk to witches and figure out things while we were stymied in different ways was really cool. Um, and I also liked seeing more of the Immortal storyline come out. Wishes I don't know, like you said, there's a lot going on, and I'm drawn in multiple directions because everything is fascinating. I will say I had sort of a like half-formed plan to go see Aaron Roke, the Immortal, and
Hmm.
obviously other things happened. Um, but if I can get to that next time, I would like to.
Okay.
And I marked a fifth point of sinking.
All
Um,
right.
and as I was looking through stuff like, what move will get me out of this horrible situation with these dogs without me having to do more? I've been looking at terror, obviously, for sunken moves, but then I started looking at exaltation, and I don't know if that fits, or if I can figure out a way to make that fit, or which one I'm going to choose. But that's sort
There's
of
some
where
nice
I'm.
ones.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's sort of where I'm pulled between at the moment.
Um, I did kind of make couple of checks. I've still got some moves to fix, but I did adjust the lawyer move, sunken move under calm a little bit. And I kind of looked at the Monster Hunter move under Court of Broken Shackles, and I kind of left it as it is. So I've got those marked in purple if people have a chance to take a look at those and see. Um, the merge self one, I still need to kind of figure out what I want to do with it. And I want to make sure that I don't have duplicate playbook moves still. I need to do a close read through of that. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.